Lee Johnson, left-footed kicker, will have it up on the tee, and this ball game is underway. Here is the kickoff. He hammers it back into the end zone. There'll be no run back as Craver fields it and downs it, and Marino and company will start from the Dolphins' 20-yard line, moving from our left to our right. Marino goes to the gun from the 39-yard line. 3rd down and 4. Dolphins moving from our left to our right toward the east end of the field. Awaiting the snap from Ulenik. Here it is. Drops the throw. Fires across the middle. Caught by Clayton. He's got a first down out at about the 43-yard line. So Clayton continues his streak. The longest outside of Al Toombs in the league. He has now gone 77 straight games with a catch. Miami from their 45. Give off to Higgs into the middle. He drags tacklers with him across the 50 down to the 49-yard line. Higgy had 131 last week. Marino, thus far in the ball game, is 2 for 4 for 12 yards. Higgs has carried 4 times for 20 yards. Backs are split from the 43 of Cincy. Marino awaits the snap from center, checking off. Now drops to throw. Has excellent protection. Throws deep. Man wide open. It's a touchdown for the Dolphins to Mark Duper. Marino goes for the long bomb against Duke. Eric Thomas, the right corner, and the free safety, Barney Bussey, who got there late with a man responsible for the coverage on the play. 43 yards on the touchdown. Marino completes his 18th touchdown pass of the year, and Duper makes his 5th TD reception.
And boy, was Eric Thomas beaten badly as Duper ran a stop and go, and they blitzed David Fulcher on that play. Cincinnati playing high-risk defense, and they paid for that gamble in that instance.
With 11:10 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 in favor of Miami. And they mark it at the 47 of the Bengals. Their deepest penetration on that penalty against the Dolphins. Miami, the least penalized team in the league, coming in, averaging only 26 yards in penalties. Holman in motion, back is Esiason. The throw, no pressure on him. He fires deep across the middle. Catch by Brown. He shakes a tackle and gets to the 25. Jim Breach, 18 out of 20 in the field goal department. His long 47 will try a 39-yarder, and Lee Johnson, the punter, will hold at the 29. No wind to speak of. Breach, 13-year veteran out of California. Snap, set down. Kick is on its way. He's got the distance. It is no good. He hooked it off to the left side. So they move it upfield. Penalties hurt them, and they walk away with nothing. The Dolphins continue to lead by a 7-0 margin. That's the end of the first quarter with the Dolphins out in front 7-0.
Marino is running what you would call a very efficient passing game right now. Very patient passing game as he's going underneath the page. Even his completions to Clayton have been for 6 yards each, and with the exception of the 143-yard pass, he's throwing all within a 10-yard framework.
That ball came out, but that's why the referee said, referee Hammer said that the runner is ruled down by contact, no fumble. Here is the give off to Higgs. He's got a hole. 45, 40, cuts to the right. 35, 30. If he'd have gotten a block out of Duper, he would have scored. As it is, he gets down to the 25. He ran right by Duper, who had brush blocked his man and allowed him to get back into the play. They give him a breather. Sammy Smith in at the tailback. First down at the 25. Page is the blocker in front of him. Here's a give off to Sammy. He's got a hole in the middle. Gets about 2 yards to the 23. That one closed in a hurry. And the man who closed it was Lamar Rogers, the gigantic right side defensive end from Auburn. Smith gets to the 23, second down and 8.
Well, you get Higgs with the 22-yard run, and then Sammy Smith comes in and gets 2, and the crowd boos. And, of course, that's what Sammy's had to live with. Of course, his fumbles put him in that position, but he's not popular here.
Well, I can certainly understand the reason he's in there, because Higgs deserves a breather.
Right.
All right, the backs are split from the 23-yard line of Cincinnati. Marino up under center. Dolphins lead 7-0. Here's the snap. Marino drops the throw. Has time. Now it breaks down, and so does he. He's finally tackled by Tim Krumrie. Plus of 9 on the play. Ball back at the Bengals' 32-yard line. Pete is 25 out of 29 in the field goal department. Tied for 3rd in the NFL as far as percentage with 86%. Here's the snap, set down. Kick is up. He's got the distance on it. It is gone. as Stoyanovich drops it in right across the crossbar, and it's a 10-0 score, a 50-yard field goal for Stoyo. 11:57 to go in the first half. Here's Esiason on that play fake again, fires across the middle. It is caught by the tight end Caddis inside the 20, gets down to the 17-yard line. A total of 24 yards on the completion. So the Bengals are now as far as they've gotten against the Dolphins defense. A 27-yard field goal attempt. Lee Johnson, who is a kicker, will hold for Breach. Here's the snap, low snap. He gets the foot into it and gets it through there. So it's a 10-3 ball game in favor of Miami. 6:38 left to play in the first half. Here's Higgs now as the only back in behind Marino. First down from the 22-yard line of the Bengals. 2 minutes to play. Here's the pitch to Higgs around the right side. Turns the corner just barely. Gets down to about the 18-yard line. Add 4 more yards to Higgs' total before the big outside linebacker James Francis at 6'5", 252 out of Baylor drops him.
Yeah, the entire Dolphin offense pulled to the right side that time. It's almost comical to look down and see Marino getting them to hustle back because the time is moving. Inside 2 minutes, they don't want to use a timeout here.
We have Higgs with 60 yards with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go in the half. He split off in the backfield behind Marino from the Bengals 18, second down and 6. Marino drops to throw, looks, fires for the corner of the end zone. It is caught by Clayton. What a catch! Holy Toledo! He took it right off the hip of the defensive back, Wayne Haddix, and Marino goes to Clayton for the 72nd time in their career. They lead the NFL in all-time passing combination touchdown-wise. Marino to Clayton, their 72nd career combined touchdown. What a catch. He went to the flag, turned around, the ball was there, but so was Haddix, the defensive back, and he took it right off Haddix's body.
Not only did he have to take the ball from Haddix, as the ball popped up away from Haddix, he got it back and had to be careful to get his both feet in bounds and did all of that.
So the score is 17-3 in favor of Miami with 1 minute and 18 seconds left to play before the end of the first half. The ball at the Dolphins 36. Bengals finally go into a huddle. Miami leads 17-3. They have not made anything happen on defense tonight. Brooks, the only back in behind Esiason, who is up under his center, Mike Arthur. Here's the snap, give off to Brooks, and he is smashed to the ground at the 33-yard line, trying to run in across right tackle. That's time-consuming. E.J. Jr. makes the stop on the play. I question that call.
I find that amazing.
7 seconds to go. Esiason up under center, throws it into the ground, stops the clock with 3 seconds on the board.
That's ridiculous. I mean, they just used up. I said they had 2 or 3. They could have run 2 or 3 plays, but when you run the ball like that and use another 14 seconds, then you're leaving yourself nothing, and depending on your kicker, who's already missed one, to kick one 50 yards.
Now, Breach has missed from 40, and he's connected on a short one of 27 yards. This is going to be a long one from 50 yards. Stoyanovich has hit one from 50. Breach's longest this season, 47. Lee Johnson, the punter, will hold from the 40. Waiting the snap. Here it is, set down. The kick is on its way. He's got the distance on it, but he makes it. He puts it right in the upper right-hand corner of the upright. So Breach hits a 50-yard field goal. That ball was like a dying quail. It was almost didn't get there. 17-6 as the half ends. Here's the handoff going to Brooks, and this time he goes no place. This time David Griggs wraps him up. I mean, that play was stopped before it ever got started. No gain by Brooks, trying to run to the Cincinnati right side. It'll bring up a third down.
Before that rush by Brooks, Cincinnati was averaging over 6 yards per carry against this Dolphin defense.
All right, the Dolphins get in their last-minute substitutions. Cincinnati at the line of scrimmage. The linemen have not yet set. Third down coming up. And 7 yards to go from the Dolphins' 23. Esiason, shotgun, back to throw, in the pocket. They got him and they sack him. They came with a rush. T.J. Turner was the first man to get to him. That for T.J. is the 4th quarterback sack of the season for him. The second one for the Dolphins in this ball game. And that very well could take him out of field goal range. because it'll bring up 4th down. They're going to send in Breach. He kicked one of 50 yards that just got in right at the end of the half, but this is going to be a little bit longer than that. Johnson will hold. Wait a minute, Breach is going to hold for Johnson. Johnson is a long-distance kicker. He is the kickoff man. Breach will hold for Lee Johnson. He has one 53-yarder on the season. This one is blocked. Rolls loose down inside the goal line and into the end zone. So what they did was send in Breach, the normal short field goal kicker, to hold for Lee Johnson, the punter, who had one field goal of 53 yards. And that was about a 52-yard attempt. He never got it off the ground. There's a timeout on the field with 5:59 left to play in the 3rd period. The Dolphins lead 17-6. This is the Miami Dolphins Football Network. Marino 15 for 18, an amazing percentage for 164 yards. Here's Marino, play fakes to Higgs, drops to throw, fires across the middle. It is caught down at the 30-yard line. Knocked down immediately is Duper.
Now, Marino, when you say he's having fun, he sure is carving up the Bengals with 16 completions and 19 attempts, and he's averaging just over 10 yards per completion. And
we were told that Sammy Smith had a bruised shoulder and is doubtful for his return. Well, he's back in there as Higgs comes out, and Smith will now be back in the shotgun along with Marino from the 30-yard line of the Bengals. 2nd down and 9. Higgs is out. Smith is in. Marino on the snap. Back to throw. Fires it. Got Sammy down at the 21-yard line. 42 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. Stoyanovich, who has a 50-yard field goal to his credit in this ball game. As Sequels will hold.
But Jensen,
23-yard field goal.
Jensen feels he was interfered with. The replay shows a second questionable call. I think they blew 2 of them down there.
Here's a high snap. Sequels sets it down. Stoyanovich converts it. What an amazing kicker he is. That was a high snap. Sequels, an excellent holder, got it down. Stoyanovich congratulates him, so it's a 20-6 score in favor of the Dolphins. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score Miami 20, Cincinnati 6. 3rd and 22. Here is Esiason moving up into the pocket, throws the ball, complete to McGee. He's up to the 45 and across the 45 to the 47. Miami leads 20-6. Again, no huddle offense. Flag is down. Esiason back to throw. Goes deep to the near side of the field. He's got a man down there, McGee, and he's run out of bounds at the 5-yard line, but it may come back. Cincinnati's offense is staying down at the east end of the field from where the pass was completed.
On the defense, penalty is declined. First down.
A pickup of 50 yards on the completion. Swoops comes in on the goal line defense. Big backs Taylor and Ickey Woods is down the ball game. Here's the handoff to Ickey. He's got the touchdown. 20-13. Miami's lead is cut to 7 with 13:32 to go. So Marino continues to slice him up, taking whatever they give him. He's thrown 2 touchdown passes, one to Duper and one to Mark Clayton.
You know something, the Dolphins need a touchdown here. Last week they did the same thing. They scored 24 points in the 2nd quarter, and they settled for field goals in the 2nd half. That's what they've done here. They settled for a field goal when they got inside the 4, and there's Cincinnati climbing back in the game.
All right, Miami 4 out of 8 in 3rd down conversions. They have to get it just inside the 30. Keep this series alive. Marino from the shotgun. Here's the snap. Cincinnati showing blitz. Marino breaks out of the pocket. He fires. Man wide open. And he's caught by Duper at the 10 to the 5. He's down at about the 3-yard line.
You know, Cincinnati gambled twice with double corner blitzes and got burned by Duper twice.
Everybody gets set in tight from the 3-yard line. 1st and goal. Higgs the tailback. Beatty in motion. The pitch to Higgs around the left side. He's in for the score. So the Dolphins take it and ram it down the throats of the Bengals. So it's a 27-13 score in favor of Miami. 9 minutes and 56 seconds left to play. Here's the handoff. Fumble! Let's see who's going to get it. Back inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. Recovered by Miami. I believe Jeff Cross. He was right there. He let it get away from him once, but Louis Oliver is the man who fell on top of it. So Lewis gives the Dolphins field position as there was a bad exchange. Green was the back involved, and Esiason talking to him as they come off. Esiason appeared to hand the ball off properly, but Green never had it tucked away. Jeff Cross had a shot at it, was beaten out under the pile-up, and Louis Oliver fought for it and got it at the 17-yard line. So the Dolphins can put him away right here. Second and down, 9, the Dolphins from the Bengals 16-yard line. Down here at the west end, Dan takes a quick drop, goes for the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Clayton. Man who was beaten on the play, Haddix, the cornerback. So Clayton, running around, had threatened to dunk it across the crossbar. So 34-13 is the score in favor of Miami. Mark Clayton, 6 receptions, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns, which is an 11.5-yard average. He sets team records for TDs with 76 and receiving TDs for 70, with a total of 75, breaking the old marks held by Nat Moore.
Who gets to keep the ball. That pass puts Marino at 20 touchdowns for the season, which now makes him the first in history to do that.
With 20-plus touchdown passes in 9 seasons.
I was into that, and he passes Johnny Unitas. They were tied with 8. So who gets the game ball?
Well, we'll have to give it to both of them, I guess. This, incidentally, is Marino's 31st 3-touchdown pass game of his career. Great catch by Clayton as Marino timed his move very adroitly to the far corner of the end zone. That's the first turnover, believe it or not, in the ball game. Garrett, but it was a big one, 34-13. 8:29 to go. Garrett to the near side. Price to the far side. Stoyanovich gets a low trajectory boot to the near side of the field. Will be grabbed by Garrett at the 13. Cuts into the middle of the 20, to the 25. He is met head on. Fumbles at the 25. Let's see who's got it. At the 23-yard line. Garrett was really hammered. They haven't unpiled yet. No indication as to who has the football. Shane Garrett was the ball carrier. Ball came out. Miami's got it at the 23-yard line. What a great tackle. And let's see where he's going to put the ball down. This will be from about the 26-yard line. It'll be a 36-yard attempt. Stoyanovich will go after his 3rd field goal. He's not that far behind Garrow, closing in on some records. Here's the snap, sit down. Kick is on its way. It is perfecto. 37-13 in favor of the Dolphins with 6:27 to play. So that'll run the clock out. He didn't get out of bounds. And the Dolphins slaughter the Cincinnati Bengals 37-13. As Don Shula picks up his 306th career victory, leaving him just 19 behind the immortal and Hall of Famer, Mr. George Halas. The Dolphins go to 8-6, keep their playoff hopes very much alive. And in the conference, they have now evened their conference record at 5-5. And of course, this not being a division game, they will go up into another conference game next week out at San Diego. And then the final game of the season against the New York Jets, a team that they owe something to for a real pasting earlier in the season, and the team they need to beat to get into the playoffs. Final score here tonight, 37-13.